Yo, what's up guys, it's Ibrahim here, and today we're talking about the top 5 snipers in COD history. So this topic came about because it was a question asked from one of my subscribers called Kima02. Thank you for sending in the question. But your other question in that comment, it was about the games I'm most nostalgic about. That's going to have to wait for a later time because I want to get gameplay from all of those, and it's quite hard to record gameplay from all of those different games, especially if they're old retro games. So anyway, thanks for asking the question. Leave all your questions down below. Leave your favorite snipers down below, or just general guns that you like. You know, we'll have a good discussion about it in the comments. So yeah, let's get into it. Now the number 5 spot is the DSR from BO2. Now I feel like a lot of people would expect this higher on the list, but the reason it isn't higher is sniping in BO2 was just AIDS in general. The aim assist was so high, you literally couldn't miss a shot. So there was no real point of it. That's why all the trick shotters have got turned off COD recently, because there was no aim assist, so they couldn't hit their trick shots, because on BO2 everybody was hitting clips. It was ridiculous. You literally aimed it on a scope and it was like you had aimbot. But at the same time, it was pretty nice, pretty fun. It wasn't fun getting sniped on that game because it was just too easy. It's basically like someone pulling out an M8 in BO3. It's just not fun anymore when they try harding so much. But it was pretty fun hitting clips on BO2 and just playing with snipers in general, because they're extremely overpowered on the game and just really fun to annoy people with. Now the next gun on the list is the Barrett 50 cal. Now this gun it's one of those semi-auto snipers, so it's not going to be so high on the list, but this thing was powerful as hell. Now on MW2, it's on MW and MW2, but on MW2 this thing was an absolute beast. I'm pretty sure it had more power than the Intervention, even though this was a semi-auto and the Intervention was just spot action. But this thing had some mad power on it, and on top of that, the fire rate was crazy. People could complain about the Drakon, but that had no aim assist on it. This was absolutely ridiculous, and it was so fun to use, especially when, like, in MW2 and COD 4, like, there were times when you would just get destroyed by the other team because they were just better, or your team was just terrible, or maybe you were just not having a good game. You can't always blame it on others. But so you're getting smashed, you just pull out this gun and kind of camp somewhere, I don't know, maybe on the plane or something, and just snipe people off. It's extremely annoying. And especially the no scopes with this gun, you literally just keep flicking the trigger and you'll end up hitting somebody because of the high fire rate. It's actually just unfair. It's not an amazing sniper, but it's just unbelievably fun to use at times. Now number 3 is a drawn position. I couldn't really decide between the two on this game. It is the Locust and the SVG from Black Ops 3. Now I've had a lot of fun on Black Ops 3, and I think it's just because the sniping is so much better on that game, in my opinion anyway, because it just didn't have any aim assist. It wasn't easy, it was a high skill thing, which is, you know, something you'd expect from a one-shot weapon. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather it be really hard to get that, and, you know, the people who actually have skill get destroyed with it, than people, just anybody being able to pick up a sniper, and if they, you know, scope in on it, it'll just automatically aim onto someone pretty much. Now it was just really fun getting good at these guns, and they were pretty strong, I'm not gonna lie. These two guns were really strong, and the SVG especially, it sounded like it would take a tank down if you shot it. Like, the gun sound on that was just so nice. And then the Locust was just, it was pristine. It reminded me a bit of the Intervention, I'll be honest. Like, just the fire rate and the strength with it was just, it was too nice. And on top of that, the camos look beautiful on those guns. So yeah, that's my opinion on those two guns. Now on to number 2. We have the M40A3 from COD 4 MW. Now a lot of you guys must have seen gameplay recently from, well, with this gun, because it's in COD 4 Remastered and everybody's using it again, because it is just so overpowered in that game. The aim assist isn't too high in that game. It's not like super noticeable that you get aim assist on people, but it's still kind of there. I just feel like that's kind of nice, since it doesn't, like, it's not overpowered. It just does help you a bit, especially when the guns in that game have such a high kill time. but this gun literally rips through people. The amount of like one-shot kills through walls and things like that with this gun. And on top of that, the fire rate, everything about this gun is so nice. Like when you compare it to the R700, the hunting rifle, it's just unimaginably different. It's hard to describe how good it is, but it's so easy to compare it to the R700. Now, I think you've all guessed the number one spot. It is the Intervention, one of the most iconic guns in COD history. Pretty much one of the reasons people started sniping on COD in general was the Intervention. Back when the COD community was actually fun and people didn't just sit in corners and just camp their lives away just because they want a good KD or an above 1 KD, so they just abandon all aspects of fun in the game just to brag to their mates in school that they've got a 1.2 KD. Great job, guys. But the Intervention was such a fun gun to use, especially on maps like Terminal. Just having a free-for-all on there, or on Estate, or any of the maps. I can't even describe how good it was. It was just really fun to use this gun, because all the guns in this game were really, I don't want to say overpowered, but they were extremely strong, and it was pretty much just it was skill that got you the kills, because the hit detection on the game was so good. You know, you wouldn't have any of the Black Ops games. Let's use Black Ops 3 for an example. You wouldn't have, you know, you shooting at somebody with a VMP and half the bullets not hitting, and then the person turning around and M8ing you straight up in the face, and no, not even straight up in the face, like in the leg, and killing you with one burst. It just didn't happen. It was all dependent on skill, because all the guns were so good, and on top of that, the hit detection was on point. The last point is just 1v1 me on Rust. The gun was so fun to use on Rust, and on top of that, the trick shots with the gun were just absolutely amazing. That was like the heyday of COD. It's kind of sad looking at it now, seeing how good it was. It's called a TF141 in Infinite Warfare, and it's so much better than the other guns. You can just, the zoom in time, the strength, everything about that gun is absolutely perfect. And it's one of those things where if you're skillful with it, you'll be amazing, but if you're terrible with it, you're just terrible in general. And I like that about those kind of guns. It's the same with the M40, even though it's overpowered. If you're terrible with it, you're going to be terrible in general. With the DSR and other guns in like the Black Ops series, if you're terrible with it, the aim assist will just give you your shot and it'll help you. So anyway, that's my list. Those are my opinions on the guns. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like on it, subscribe for more, and make sure you say what your opinions are. See ya.
I can only do me, that's all I know. Dodge the difficulties and take life slow. And if I ever slow up, you know I always show up. It's still the same on me, even if I blow up. Love is what I do it for, love is why I'm rapping. Love is the main reason for how all this happened. Love for all my fans, love for all the shows. Got love for all my memories, no matter where I go. Even if I'm out to nothing, I know there's always something. It's not a fitness test, but it'll always keep me running. One good thing about music, when it hits you feel no pain, so I keep it close to me, make sure it never goes away. From the start, I knew it in my heart. If I made one person happy, then I know I did my part. Now, if I stay into it, and people dig the music I put on for my cities, and know I always do it for love. Yeah, I put on for my cities, and know I always do it for love. I do it for love. What you do it for? Do it for. I do it for love, for love, for love, for love, for love. I do it for love.